Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm going to be testing Forza Horizon 3 on the AMD Radeon RX 460 for FPS monitoring. This time I won't be using cam since this is a universal Windows application and those don't work with cam just yet. So I'll be using the in-game FPS counter. I'm sorry about that because the in-game FPS counter is very small and it blends with the sky very easily, so that's annoying, but at least I zoomed in a little bit in the bottom left corner of the video so you can see the frame rate, at least for a while. So what am I doing here? Well, I used the i3 and the i5, simulated both. I simulated both CPUs. In this section right now I'm simulating the i5 because I'm trying to reach 60 FPS, but as you can see I'm dropping below 60 quite a lot. Is between 40 and 60 for the most part. So I'll be switching to 900p and 720p too to see if we can get to 60, shall we? So now we go into resolution and we select 900p. Yes, we accept the changes and we are using the same settings in the advanced tab. So we save the changes and we continue, and as you can see we are still below 60 fps, but we are closer to hit the target. So I'll keep playing like this for a little bit in order to see how much we can maintain that frame rate. One thing you want to keep in mind also is that this is a 4GB RX 460, so if you have the 2GB variant you will have to use low textures and lower the reflections if possible, since the car will run out of VRAM. Well, without that VRAM we cannot play the game properly. It will stutter all over the place and the game will tell you, hey, you have low VRAM, lower the settings. So keep that in mind while watching this video. This is the 4GB card. It performs the same, just we can use better textures. And in rainy areas you might want to lower the reflection quality too, in comparison to daylight like I'm doing right now. But yeah, the game runs better than I expected. It seems that AMD has the edge on this one. I was watching some GTX 1060 versus RX 480 and the RX 480 was very similar or a little bit better, a little more stable, so it seems that the DirectX 12 on those cards helped them out a lot in this game in particular. But as you can see here we are still between 40 and 60 even on 900p. Also lowering the car quality will help, since when there are many cars on the screen you'll have drops in the frame rate due to the CPU for the most part. So that's another thing to keep in mind. If you want a more consistent experience, just disable MSIA. But as you can see so far we have no problems. So let's now skip to the part with the rainforest. Okay, so now this is the race against the helicopter. We are going to use different settings. We're going to try 900p and a little 720p too. So let's start with the race. And as you can see now we're getting pretty much 60s. I don't know if you can see that. 55 to 60 fps. Let's see when we get farther into the race. One other thing I forgot to mention is that if you don't hit 60 FPS very constantly, you'll have something like a frame skipping, but it's not, it's frame pacing issues. That's something the developers have to fix. Since this game was designed to run at 30 FPS, it's hard to maintain 60 FPS with good frame pacing, since the game was designed to run at 30 FPS. But don't worry, we can still hit 60s. Not very consistently, but we can. I suggest using VSync in order to fix some of those FPS drops, for saying it in some way. That frame pacing issue can be fixed by using VSync or just capping the game at 30 FPS. If you have something worse than an i5, straight up go and keep the game fixed at 30 FPS with VSync and you'll be totally fine. You'll be playing better than an Xbox. Anyway, now into the video settings. We're going to choose 720p and let's see if we can keep 60 fps, shall we? So we save the changes. And as you can see now, we're getting 70 fps. Let's see once we get into the forest itself. So yeah, so far so good. Close to the water, we'll still maintain 60s. Okay. Yeah, the moment we're maintaining 60 FPS so far. It'll probably drop below 60 with more racers on screen, so keep that in mind. And if on rainy weather, it will usually drop too, but just lower the reflections and you should be fine. Yeah, so far so good. We're keeping 60 FPS very consistently. But again, I recommend using a 60 FPS lock or a 30 FPS lock for a more consistent experience in this game in particular. But yeah, 720p seems to be the way to go for 60 FPS, but remember that you need an i5 or better in order to maintain 60 FPS. With the i3 that's pretty much impossible, the i3 cannot maintain 60s. Yeah, even in that small cinematic we were able to be above 60. So okay, let's restart the event and I will show you the best settings for i3 plus RX 460. i3 simulated plus RX 460. We'll cap the game at 30 FPS, as I said quite a few times, in order to have a more consistent experience so the CPU can handle it. So we go into the options. And here we're going to choose 1080p once again. Yes, and well, we're going to use VSync and cap the game at 30 FPS, as you can see there. Then in the Advanced tab, we're going to use higher settings, since we have some horsepower to spare. Also MSIA 2 times. Reflections on high, windshield reflections on medium, mirror quality on high, and we're the car quality on low, since that gives a hit to the CPU, so we can lessen the impact there. So we save the changes, and you can see the FPS counter in the bottom left corner and the top right corner. And let's race it once again. So yeah, i3 simulated plus RX 460 4GB. If you have the 2-gig version, once again, just lower the textures and reflections and you'll be fine. You won't run out of memory with that quality. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you keep enjoying the video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.
Wait, whoa, watch over the trees!
Warren. Pilot screen. Call it when you're ready to drop.
Righto, there's the finish line. Cut me loose!
Hey boss, your route is set to the area where you'll be able to find the driver tower. In 400 yards, turn left. Turn left. In 200 yards, keep right. Keep right. In 400 yards, turn left.
There they are. Challenge them to a head-to-head.
At the roundabout, take the second exit. In 400 yards, bear right. Keep right. In 400 yards, bear left. Keep left.
All right, nice work. Let's get them signed up to your lineup.